Jason Statham is known for playing cold-blooded assassins, elite drivers, and unstoppable ex-soldiers. But no matter how tough he looks, every character has a weakness. In this video, we're diving into 10 of his most iconic roles to expose the vulnerabilities that nearly destroyed them. 1. The Mechanic. Arthur Bishop is the definition of precision. He's a contract killer who leaves no trace, no witnesses, and most importantly, no emotions. But when he's tasked with eliminating his own mentor, he quietly obeys. The real weakness comes later when he takes in the man's son, Steve, and trains him in the very craft that killed his father. That emotional bond breaks Bishop's code. He lets guilt cloud his decisions. And in a world where trust is deadly, that vulnerability nearly costs him everything. For a man built on logic, emotion is the crack in his armor. 2. Safe. Luke Wright is a man who's lost everything. His job, his wife, his reputation. At the beginning, he's not a hero. He's broken, aimless, even suicidal. But everything changes when he crosses paths with a little girl hunted by. The Chinese mob, Russian gangsters, and corrupt cops dotting protecting her. Luke finds purpose, but also exposes his greatest weakness. He cares again. That emotional reawakening turns him into a protector, but also makes him reckless. He has something to lose, and that makes him vulnerable. 3. Homefront. Phil Broker is trying to start over. A former undercover DA agent, he moves to a small town with his young daughter, hoping for peace. But his past doesn't stay buried for long. Local criminals dig into who he really is, and they find his greatest pressure point, his daughter. Broker is a skilled fighter, but his weakness is his heart. Every move he makes is driven by the need to protect her. And the more he tries to avoid violence, the more violence finds him in this. Quiet town, love becomes his Achilles heel. 4. Crank. Chev Chelios wakes up to learn he's been poisoned. The clock is ticking literally, and the only way to stay alive is to keep his adrenaline flowing. His body becomes his worst enemy. The stronger his heart beats, the longer. He lives. Slow down for even a moment, and he dies. His weakness here isn't emotional, it's primal. Survival becomes addiction. Chef becomes more animal than man, pulling off insane stunts just to stay alive. The irony? The harder he fights. To live, the more he burns himself out. His weakness is the very thing keeping him going adrenaline. 5. The Transporter. Frank Martin is the ultimate professional. He delivers packages, no questions asked. His world is built on rules simple, strict, unbreakable dot, but when one of those packages turns out to be a woman and Frank decides to open the trunk, everything falls apart. That small act of empathy breaks his code. He gets involved. He asks questions. He cares. And suddenly, the machine becomes a man with feelings. His weakness? Breaking his own rules. And in a business like, his emotions are the most dangerous cargo of all. 6. Wratherman H is quiet, cold, and terrifying. He's a new recruit in an armored truck company, but it's clear he's not there for the paycheck. Slowly, we learn he's on a mission. His son was killed during a robbery, and H wants revenge, not justice, not closure. Revenge. His military discipline and killer instinct are unmatched. But it's that obsession with vengeance that becomes his flaw. He doesn't care who gets in the way. Innocent or lies. It doesn't matter. In. Seeking to punish those who hurt him, H risks becoming the very monster he's chasing. 7. Parker. Parker is a thief, but he lives by a strict code. No killing unless necessary. No stealing from the innocent. And always honor your word. That moral compass sets him apart from the cutthroats he works with. But it also makes him predictable. His weakness is his principles. When a crew double-crosses him and leaves him for dead, he doesn't just want payback. He wants to uphold the code. That stubborn sense of justice puts him at risk again and again. Because in a world full of liars and killers, honor is a dangerous trait. 8. Death Race. Jensen Ames is a wrongfully convicted man, forced to race in a violent, televised death match. But he's not just racing for survival, he's racing for his daughter's future. That emotional driver is what fuels his every move. While other racers fight for freedom, fame, or money, Ains fights for family. But that makes him easy to manipulate. The warden uses his daughter as leverage, forcing him into brutal choices. His strength is his love, but that love is also his biggest weakness. 9. Redemption Hummingbird. Joey Jones is a former Special Forces soldier living on the streets of London. Haunted by what he saw and what he did, he's a man running from his past. When an opportunity comes to rebuild his life, he takes it. But beneath the clean suits and gangster image, his real enemy is his own guilt. He drinks, he sees ghosts. He questions whether he deserves peace. His weakness is internal. No enemy outside can hurt him more than his own conscience. Redemption is what he seeks, but forgiveness might be out of reach. 10. The Expendables series. Lee Christmas is sharp, skilled, and deadly with a blade. He's the right-hand man of Barney Ross and one of the most trusted members of the Expendables. But what separates him from the rest of the team is his heart. He's fiercely loyal to his friends, to his love interest, and to the idea of brotherhood. That loyalty is admirable, but it also leads him to make rash, emotional decisions. He'll walk into a trap just to save a friend. He'll fight an entire army to protect someone he loves. And in a world of killers, caring too much can get you killed. Got a favorite Statham moment or a weakness we miss? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and maybe feature your comment in a future video. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the action heroes you love.